after opportunity, we would go off, quickly change our clothes, get out of this big, huge football outfit, and then run around the stage to make our entrance. Exactly. And all we had was
a minute about
a little scene between Archie and Evan.
Yeah. Do you have a crossover here?
Yes, we do. Yeah. So we didn't have to like go under the whole thing, but
it's like in the back behind the pit of the band. Yeah.
So, and we barely used to make it, so then we changed it so that we had a little bit more time. Yeah. But I think that was the most gear that anyone had on.
Oh yeah.
Who wears the least in the show?
Who wears the least?
I think Graham. Because Graham doesn't change that much because he has so much to do.
But I mean, is like anybody. I'm trying to remember. There's no bathing suit number. There's do people appear in shorts? I mean, who wears like the least in the show?
Cheerleading outfit.
Cheerleading outfit.
And who wears that?
All the girls.
They all do. That's right. Okay.
Except Patrice.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Now here is one that I'm going to ask you that you're not to explain this to me. This is something where I'm the editor. I do not know what this is. It's going to be in my book. Are there catchphrases that the company uses?
Babies.
Babies. Oh
my son Nick uses babies.
Are you serious?
He does, yes.
That's amazing.
That's so funny.
Because Ariana Grande brought babies here.
Was it from the
Misha.
Natasha Bedingfield song?
No, Misha.
Oh, it was just from Misha?
It was Misha.
Oh, yeah.
And Ariana Grande, who plays Charlotte, just started saying babies one day, and I was like, that is amazing.
That's funny. Yeah, exactly.
That is hilarious.
Everybody's
so then everyone just started using the word babies.
No explanation. Okay, do you do, every show, everybody works on every musical has parody lyrics. Do you guys have parody lyrics?
Do we? During getting ready, I do.
What do you say?
Well, because my character is Eddie, and so I say, only got one shot, better get it right, my name is Eddie.
What's the actuals? It's Getting Ready?
The song is called Getting Ready, and it's only got one shot, better get it right. I'm getting ready.
Very good.
I do a whole little thing to myself backstage and about that song.
Oh, yeah.
Directors give notes, and sometimes they're really inspiring notes. Sometimes they're strange notes. Sometimes they're funny notes.
Yeah.
Memorable director's notes.
I think we have some pretty funny notes from Jeremy Sams, our director. It's like most of the time we would make changes during previews. And either we would cut a line or we're cut a scene. And Jeremy, he's like, and we love him because
he's so British. It's amazing.
He does like this weird kind of thing where he claps and like, oh, your line. We had a line that we called everybody fagmo. That was like the bad line that everybody said. He told me and Eamon one day. He was like, Malik, Eamon, your line fagmo. We loved it. We lost it. It's gone. It's gone. I'm sorry. It's gone. And he would every time he cut something, he would say that same thing. It's
what
so
else?
funny.
What else happened? Something else happened that was pretty funny. With Liz, because Liz, she's always getting notes to articulate more. And Jeremy wants her to articulate so much that she spits everywhere, so that everyone can understand. But I mean, I know I can understand her perfectly fine.
Do you guys have stories of the legend of the company that you guys tell each other? On one of the shows, they tell the story about how this person came out and the set was not ready. And they had to vamp with the audience until the thing was ready. And this was a very, very difficult thing to do. But they made it work so perfectly that the audience didn't even notice that anything had gone wrong. And the story just got told. This is a show that had ran for a long time. And the story got told and told and told. To the fifth generation in the show knew this story about how this legend of how this person had saved the show. I know you guys are relatively new, but you guys have been working. You've been good speed. You've been all over the place. Anything like this?
Well, a lot of stuff fell, and Eamon picked it up. I remember in the movie scene we had popcorn. It was fake popcorn.
Oh my God.
And mine went in between the movie, the two rows of the movie seats, and it fell. And I didn't want to pick it up because I was about to say a line. And so I just sat there and was I hope it rolls off.
And then it stayed on stage.
And it stayed on stage, and we have lockers, and it got caught. I tried to kick
on
it.
The locker.
I tried to kick it,
but then it got caught under the locker.
And then
so
then picked it up.
Somebody picked it up. But I remember in Goodspeed, there was a really, really, really bad storm, and during "Get Me What I Need," Aaron was singing, and all of a sudden, the lights start going crazy like a disco ball. Now, meanwhile, Aaron is still singing his song, and I thought that was the most professional thing ever done. He didn't break character whatsoever. And then after his number, Rick, our stage manager, he came up. We call it his God mic, and he's heard, but you don't see him. And he was like, "Sorry for the interruption, but we're having some technical difficulties." And so it took about 10 minutes for the lights to come back on and for them to get control of them. And then we went on with the show, and it was fine.
I'm surprised you guys could do anything on that little narrow stage. It's like 8 feet, right? It's so narrow. I stood on that stage. Okay, do you guys have nicknames?
Do we have nicknames? I call Caitlin Gann Bubbles.
How do you just Bubbles?
Just Bubbles.
Well, I know Delaney, like Ariana, she sometimes calls her Durain.
I call her D-Lane. What else? We have more nicknames.
We have more. I just can't remember.
I call you Malik.
What? Like, Delaney does that too. Like, Malik is like, oh yeah, that's not my name, but it's funny. It's funny. Okay.
But I think that was all our nicknames.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Any romance in bloom? Love sweethearts within the company?
I don't think so.
Okay.
There were, but I'm not going to mention any names. But there most definitely were, because you're with these people every day, and it's kind of hard not to form a great relationship with them.
Yeah.
So I mean, there were a few showmances.
What's the coolest thing about being in 13?
We're all teenagers, like everybody in the thing, because like
You are?
the cast, teenagers, and the band. And like I think the oldest is
There are
like
no adults in this show.
I think the oldest is 18.
18.
Charlie plays the bass.
Very good. Those are the basic questions. Now, are there things about your show, stories about your show, anything about your show that you think you would like to read in a book like 10 years from now or 20 years from now? If you crack it open and there it is, the record of your being in 13 when you were a teenager. What would you like to see in there?
Oh man.
Things that you want to remember.
I think all of us being together and having a great time and just, being kids. And, we're 13 to, most of us are 13 to 17 years old, and we're already on Broadway, and we're getting our foot in the door, and already at such a young age, and I think that's amazing. And I'm so, proud of every single one of us. And
It's a crazy experience. Yeah. It's so great.
I don't think there will ever be another Broadway show like this.
That's true. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I know. Even 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee was all grown-ups playing like kids,
Playing
13-year-olds.
And this is the first time where
It's like all teen.
we're all teenagers to hit Broadway.
Are there things that you that are going to stick in your head? I'm going to go for the 5 senses. Things that you remember feeling, or sounds that you associate with working in this theater, or smells or tastes that you remember.
There are some audience members that have funny laughs, and we all remember their funny laughs.
Funny laughs, 'cause
Some guy was like, "Nah." Dead silence.
And the
He
guys
goes,
just go.
"Nah." So, I mean, that was one thing that I remembered hearing.
Yesterday, I remember Eric's vocal coach came to see the show. And he sat in the front row. And it was like, wait, was it which quiet moment was it? Because I remember it was so quiet, and then he was like, ah, ha, 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 ha. It was so funny.
And we can't break character when we hear these funny things. So, because sometimes we can laugh in the context of the scene, so we try to make it as small as possible so that we don't get, so we don't break character.
Thank you guys so much for coming on Playbill Radio and telling us about this, and we'll be in the Playbill Yearbook next year.
We hope you've enjoyed this Playbill podcast, a production of PlaybillRadio.com. Al Calderon and Malik Hammond are the correspondents from 13 the Musical on Broadway for the 2009 edition of the Playbill Yearbook. Every year, the Playbill Yearbook collects the facts, the photos, and the behind-the-scenes stories from every show of the Broadway season. Correspondents from each production answer a list of specific questions. So multiply what you've just heard by every show of the season, add facts and figures, photographs of the casts and crews, other season highlights, and get ready for the Labor Day 2009 release of the Playbill Yearbook. And of course, you can get the 2008 edition, as well as previous years while they last at playbillstore.com. For streaming Broadway music 24 hours a day,